Alrighty, hello everybody. Wave meteorologist Jessica Dobson here, and we're going to go over the forecast. It's been a very wet weekend. It looks like we have several of you guys tuning in. So, hello to everybody. Let me know how your weekend's been. If you've enjoyed the rain, because I know you've needed it. So, we'll talk more on those rainfall totals here in just a moment. But as of right now, we are still seeing some showers across the region, and I will give you a live look outside and we'll talk about how much rain we've seen. And I brought up our Bardstown camera because it is so beautiful this time of year. Check it out. This is looking at the square, I believe, and that's what I want to say is the courthouse. Don't quote me, but I believe that's what it is. But yeah, wet roadways out there. It has been just, gosh, the perfect weekend to take naps, right? I usually sleep in between some of the newscasts because I do the overnight shifts. So, or the swing shifts, whatever you want to call it. But it has been a perfect day to take a nap. It's been very gray and dreary and a little chilly. So this another very was a good chilly weekend, I feel like. But I do want to show you guys our almanac for the day for Louisville. So with the temperatures, we got to take that kind of with a grain of salt because our temperatures have been all over the place. We've actually seen a decrease in temperatures through the majority of the day. And it just has been very wonky with our temperatures because of the placement of this front. So I will talk a little more on that in a second. But I do want to show you guys how much rain we've seen. Okay, got some of you guys commenting. Yay, there's a few of you guys. Sometimes it gets a little quiet on here, and I'm like talking to myself, and that's not fun. We have Chris. Hello to you, Chris. Alan Fackler says, very wet day here in Brandenburg. How was your day? My day wasn't bad. Just been here mostly. I took a good nap, so that's always nice when I can have time for that. Glinda said, okay, the rain can stop now. I'm going to be waterlogged in Bardstown. Sabrina says, very soggy here in Eastview, Kentucky. Glinda says, she confirmed, it is the old courthouse. It's beautiful when they light it up for Christmas. I know, right? It's so pretty, and that's going to be here before we know it. I'm not ready to talk about it yet, though. But I do kind of like when people decorate for Christmas very early. But anyway, this is what we've picked up in terms of the rain. It has been a very wet weekend. We've needed the rain, and this has really been the most we've seen in a while. I don't have the stats pulled up, but I could look them up after. But this is really the most rain we've seen in a while. You'll see the higher totals are near places like Litchfield, E-Town, Lebanon, Campbellsville. That's where we picked up almost 1/4 of an inch, or 3/4 of an inch, excuse me. 3/10, almost 4/10 of an inch in Louisville now, almost 6/10 in Shepherdsville. So you get the idea. Across southern Indiana, you guys have been kind of missing it. A little drier up that way, not as much rain, with the exception of Carrollton. My goodness, almost an inch there. So it's been a very soggy day, really weekend so far. And we haven't even seen the heaviest of the rain yet. It's going to be coming here in the next couple of hours. We have Darlene Brem, chilly in Minnesota, 23 degrees at night, warming to 32 during the day. Absolutely not. No, I can't do that. That is truly not ideal for me. That is like the worst for me. I hate the cold. I do not like the cold, but I give you guys props. I know Minnesota is so beautiful during the summer. But thank you for tuning in and leaving that comment, Darlene. I hope you stay warm, because I love how you said warming up to 32 degrees during the day. That's totally warm. Yes. I'm sure, though, figuratively speaking. But okay, here's a look at the showers right now. Seeing them grow a little more patchy. It's been like this pretty much all day, kind of off and on with these pockets of downpours. That's going to be the overall trend as we head into the rest of tonight. But you see, we do have the heavier rain. Let me get my handy dandy. Is my pencil tool out? Oh, is it? No, it's not. That's okay. Oh, there it is. Okay. Just got to bear with me. There's so many screens over here. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So that's all right. Anyway, I was trying to point out the showers that are to the north of Evansville. Okay, that one's not going away. There we go. The showers, you'll really see kind of that well-defined line all the way down into like Arkansas. They're dealing with a lot of the rain. So that's where the heaviest is. It's going to be moving on up towards us here over the course of the next couple of hours. And that's where we'll expect the heaviest of the rain to begin to take shape. That will happen probably closer to 10, 11 o'clock tonight. So Yeah, it's going to be, honestly, if you ask me, perfect sleeping weather. I can sleep in tomorrow, so I'm very excited about it. I know everyone else has to go back to work, but work or school, that is. But not me. I will be taking another long nap probably. But okay, so here is this boundary is what we call them, usually meteorology. You'll hear us say that a lot, but essentially it's a front, and it's stalled out. It is a cold front, but it's red and blue now because it's kind of parked itself over the bluegrass state within like the last day or so. It's really not budged very much. Temperatures have reflected that as a result. We are in the 50s for areas north of that front and in the 60s for areas south of it. It almost lines up perfectly with the Western Kentucky and Bluegrass Parkways. Pretty interesting how that always works out. I always say the parkways, but it's always just such a good reference point talking about where we're seeing kind of a difference. That chunk of our viewing area geographically just kind of experiences different parts of our weather pattern sometimes. So it's always interesting to see. We do have temperatures right now though at 58 in Louisville, but 63 in Columbia, and then 50 in Seymour. All over the place, to say the least. I would say a hot mess, but it's not hot. Okay, let's take you through Futurecast, and I'll stop with the corny jokes because we do have a lot to talk about. Futurecast does show these off and on showers. You'll see some pockets of yellow. That's going to mean the heavier rain. So I think by the time the system's all said and done with, we'll probably be at an inch or more for the majority of the areas. This will continue through early tomorrow morning. So this is roughly 6 a.m. Rain will be sticking around. So depending on when your morning commute is going to be how much it's affected. Because if it's earlier, then we have better chances of rain. But if it's later, the roads will still be wet. It'll probably still have traffic from the earlier round of the morning rush. So just not ideal any way you look at it. So just give yourself some extra time. Don't run late like me and have to rush everywhere because you don't want to rush, especially with the leaves. I've been talking about it. I talked about it a lot this morning on Sunrise, if you were watching then. The leaves can really create a delay in your stopping distance. It can make it longer, like you're just slicking out the roadways because like the leaves are soggy and they get, kind of gross when they get wet. And we've, been nearing peak foliage, and that can create, very slick effect to the road. So just make sure you're driving slow and carefully. Don't take turns too quickly, because that's what I think about with a couple of roads. I think about like Feggenbush Lane, if you're familiar with that in Louisville. There's so many trees and it's very windy, so you have to be careful for a couple spots like that. They're just like have a tree canopy essentially over the roadway. That's where we'll see some of those leaves get stripped and onto the road. Okay, so showers will linger through about 8, 9 a.m. And then about 10 o'clock, we'll start to see some of those showers really begin to fade away. They're going to be pretty light too. Sorry, my nose is so itchy, guys. Then we'll expect those showers to gradually work their way to the south and east as they fade away. And we'll be mostly done with things by midday. A couple of showers are trying to sneak in there, mainly for like Greene and Taylor and Adair counties, but it's not a huge chance, maybe just some patchy drizzle, some sprinkles. Then by tomorrow night, we're dry and we'll start to clear things out. Maybe even a little sun tomorrow. Feeling optimistic. We could see some clearing and breaks in the clouds. That would be nice. It feels like it's been forever since we've seen the sun. 100% chance of rain overnight. Temperatures take that downward turn, as we can see, down into the 40s. And then once they get there, they don't really go up from there. That's about as warm as we get tomorrow. Let's see. Susan Smith said, this is an old map that doesn't include Franklin County on the eastern edge of the Wave 3 viewing area. If you posted a picture, I can't see it. But our viewing area does include Franklin County, and it's in our maps too, because that's where Frankfort is. But we try to cover, we do cover you guys, but we try to always mention you guys. I know I specifically do, because I know it's easy to feel like you guys are left out over there on the far eastern edge. But we'll pull up another map here in a second. We'll talk about that. But morning commute tomorrow, rainy and wet, chilly. It's going to be kind of drizzly too. Rain chances will taper off though gradually. You'll see that earlier you go, the higher the rain chance, but that doesn't mean just wait, because the roads will still be wet. So still give yourself some extra time tomorrow morning, because it is just going to be not great. And make sure the kids have the rain gear and ways to stay warm. It won't rain all day long, but temperatures are going to be chilly. It's going to be wet in the morning. Just make sure they're in good shape as they're heading to and from school, because temperatures will likely be cooler in the afternoon than what they're experiencing in the morning. And then This is fun. Tuesday morning's temperatures are in the 20s and 30s. Most of us will actually just make it into the 30 or 20s at best. We'll come close to 30, but I don't think we'll hit it. And this is for Halloween morning. So this is why we have a freeze watch already in place for tomorrow night and into Tuesday morning. So that goes from 11 o'clock tomorrow night through 10 a.m. Tuesday morning. Wouldn't be surprised if another one of these was added on, just with the potential of a deep freeze for many of us. And that leads me into my next point, the Halloween forecast. Yeah, it's cold. It's going to be cold. It's going to be one of those where it's going to be just a very chilly day, chilly night, I guess you could say too, as temperatures continue to fall down into the 40s, low 40s at that. I don't even like saying it because I feel like I'm speaking it into existence, but that's forecast right now. You can see that little 0%. That wasn't supposed to show up. I meant to take that away. But you'll see we are going to be staying dry, which is good, but we'll just have to be mindful of those temperatures because it's going to be, I mean, Spider-Man's still Spider-Man, even if he has a coat on. Spider-Man gets cold sometimes too. So just remember that and maybe make some final adjustments to where it's like the character is still wearing like warmer clothes, I guess you could say. So there's still some time to make adjustments to your costume. All right, this is going to be the final thing I talk about before I show you the 10-day. Not going to spend a ton of time on this because this is such a small chance, but we have to mention it. And I had a very lengthy conversation with Ryan about this the other day, just with how like circumstantial essentially this is going to be, and it's going to be very dependent on just a very narrow swath of moisture we'll have to work with. So this is not going to be the gospel. This is not going to be verbatim. Just remember that. Bottom line, we'll see this quick moving system plunge in from our north. It's going to help to usher in more of that chilly air. But what it could do, and I'll zoom in a little bit, which is what I actually meant to do, it could come very close to like Jackson and Jennings counties where we could see a flurry, okay? A flurry. It's not going to have a ton to work with moisture-wise, which we all know these types of systems need that in order to kind of sustain themselves and get going. I meant to have this play out until a little earlier Wednesday morning, but regardless, that's what that 10% chance is. And therefore, I do not think Louisville's going to see any flurries. Don't get your hopes up. I'm sorry. I don't think too many people are ready for any snow yet. Susan Smith says, kids in Detroit would wear their costumes over their winter coats on Halloween. Yeah, there you go. That's one way to do it. Maybe just like size up a little bit so that way it fits still. Yeah, I'm trying to, I feel like as a kid, I remember some cold Halloweens, but I especially remember in college one in particular where I think it was like a very wet rain or cold rain. Obviously it's wet. Can you tell I need to go back to sleep? It was a very cold rain and I think some like snow showers were mixed in with it. I want to say it was like 2015, maybe. Don't quote me on that, but some of you guys might remember that. That was in Bowling Green, though, so that wasn't in Louisville necessarily. Okay, here is the 10-day forecast for you guys. Looking at things dry for the most part. That 10% is just for a couple of those flurries. Again, only for like 2 of our counties, so that's why it's very low. 40s, though, mid-40s by Wednesday. High of only 46, but get this. Tuesday morning, 29 will be our low. 28 by Wednesday morning, and 29 by Thursday morning. Yeah, get those coats out. I need to actually make sure mine is washed and in good shape because, yeah, it's going to be cold. That's coat weather for me, at least. I don't know about everybody, but that's coat weather for me. Temperatures, though, do make it back into the 60s, so thank goodness, by the end of the week. And then next weekend, so far so good. We are going to likely see another system come into play. The timing of it's been very wonky. I know very scientific terms, right? But it's been very kind of hit and miss. And it's likely going to be once we see all this stuff right now. And likely Wednesday, we'll have a better idea. But hey, daylight saving time ends next weekend. That means we fall back. Yes, we fall back. And we gain an hour of sleep. So we get sleep, more sleep. Woohoo! So that's exciting. Very excited about more sleep because I feel like I never get enough. But Monday, 20% chance of rain. I kept it at that. But again, that's over a week away. Election day, we could see some showers. That'll be one we watch closely because we don't want rain on election day. We want some nice weather. But that in itself, Could be early morning, so we'll watch it. It's only a 30% chance. So far, nothing too terribly impactful, but that's obviously going to. But these chances will change as we fine tune things. But okay, I don't think we have too many more questions. I'm surprised I threw in a flurry word, the word flurry, and I didn't get too many too many people upset by that. But okay, I usually, there's a little bit of a delay, so I try to wait a second if there are any comments or questions. I do want to go back and show Susan Smith, though. I will do this very quickly and show you the map because it does include Franklin County. Right over there. You see it? Frankfort 59. And that's on all of our maps. So Ryan Hoke is always sure to make sure everything is accurate and correct when it comes to our weather graphics. He's a genius when it comes to that stuff. He is who makes our graphics so fun and cool and amazing. But anyway, okay. Hopefully I answered everyone's questions. This was a long one today because there's so much happening between the cold, Halloween, and the rain, and the freeze warning, or freeze watch, which might turn into a warning, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there, right? Okay, I hope everyone has... Linda Lucas says, Brian told you to say flurries, didn't he? This is what happens. Brian took a long vacation, and now when he comes back, we're gonna have some flurries to talk about. We'll blame him. Blame it on Brian, as we say sometimes. We love him. Anyway, hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday night. Again, we're always on after Sunday Night Football. So if you're wanting the forecast, again, some updates, I usually do a last update of the numbers before our 11 p.m. newscast on Sunday nights. So if you want an updated timing, I'll have the radar, all that good stuff. And we'll have news headlines too with Noel, and Dusty will have your sports recap. So lots of good, important things before you head to bed. But everyone, have a great rest of your night. Enjoy the sleepy, rainy weather, and just be safe driving to your destinations tomorrow morning. Take care.